for taking some time here this afternoon to meet with us. I'm going to go
I'm
through
sorry.
some.
You're breaking up. Your voice is breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Just let me know if it's starting to go in and out again.
Yep, I'm ready.
Awesome. Well, Nate, appreciate you for taking the time to meet here this afternoon. We're just going to go through a few Snowflake related questions for our client Compass Group. So we'll just get right into it. And the first question is for Snowflake optimization, what factors affect query performance in Snowflake?
Uh, First thing, it's the complexity of the query. So I have to make sure it's using the proper commands in the SQL. So in case if it's nested select, I can rewrite with the CTE. Other factors which is also can impact in the performance, that would be virtual warehouse size. So usually a larger warehouse, better performance. Clustering also key point here is proper clustering of the large tables, like using cluster keys, can also reduce the scan time.
Great.
Also, result caching. That's the other thing that Snowflake uses to automate result caching. So pruning, which is partitioning data or micro partitioning based on filters, which is reduce unnecessary data scans. And finally, materialized view. That also can speed up the repetitive aggregation if we need it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And your personal approach to investigating and resolving a slow performing Snowflake query, what metrics would you analyze?
Uh, There is an approach. First of all, we have to analyze what is going on. In this case, we can use query profile. So there we can check large scans, skew joins, long aggregation stages. So based on that, we can get information, right? So also we have a query history, review the query history, which is we can identify execution time, uh, also quit time on for the, and again come to back to the query. We can rewrite the complex joins with the CTs, introduce clustering for the large and frequently filtered tables. uh, we also can use dedicated warehouse for the long running ATL jobs. And also we can try materialize intermediate results if reused.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And in regards to batch processing and CDC implementation, have you replicated a large scale data from a source system to Snowflake? And what would kind of be your approach, tools used for that?
In my project on Paychecks, we had a healthcare analytics projects. So we replicated data, daily HR and medical claims data, which was approximately 1 TB daily. So we source data from SQL Server and S3 into Snowflake using the architecture, which is including ADF, Databricks, and Snowflake. So for EDF part, we ingest data from SQL Server, as I said, and we use a self-hosted IR, and from S3 we source JSON files. In this case, in EDF, I used copy activity and data flow to extract and stage and transform data. Also, I used Azure Blob Storage, used for intermediate staging for batch loads. Databricks I use for complicated transformations. I apply through the PySpark. I applied schema evaluation, validations, and once everything is done, we landed everything to the Snowflake's data warehouse, which was in our case gold tables, and that's we use for Power BI analytical purposes.
Great, man, great. And log-based CDC versus batch processing, what would you say are the trade-offs?
For CDC, I would say that's the simpler. I mean, not simpler, complex. So to build the CDC, it's more complex and requires more logs parsing. And however, batch is simpler. For the data latency, I would say CDC is close to real time. So, however, batch processing is usually scheduled hourly or daily. In this case, it's high latency. So, for the failure recovery, that CDC would be require state management. For batch processing is simpler, just to rerun it. In the best cases to use, for example, batch processing is historical backfills or low volume tables. In the CDC, I would say it's real-time synchronization and high change rate tables. That's the
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, that's great, man. And we'll go into the final two questions here that'll kind of cover more data validation and quality. So your personal approach on data quality across different pipeline stages, for example, when replicating data from a source system into Snowflake, how do you typically approach that?
So I my approach would be source validation in ADF, which is including applied data type checks, mandatory field checks, or null validations via data flow. In my cases, I was supposed to ensure social number format compliance was proper, and mandatory insurance fields in HR data. Also, for schema and logic validation, I use Databricks, which is I used expectations in Delta Live tables or custom PySpark logic. An example would be so I flagged invalid medical codes, which is, I believe it was ICD-10, and I using lookup tables before writing to snowflakes. And finally, to the snowflakes, I queried, I tried check for duplicates, orphan records, or null violation using simple SQL scripts. And also we have an audit trail, which is we track the metatables. So the metatables track the transformation and validation steps for each dataset and pipeline run.
Got it. Got it. And last but not least, your personal data monitoring strategy. How do you typically like to go about that?
And again, if we coming to my project, so I was monitored via EDF. So there was a custom pipelines which is wrote logs into Azure SQL LogDB. So and Azure Monitor and Logic apps send alerts on case if it's failures. In the Databricks notebooks, or I ran post load checks and pushed unusual data or anomalies data to Power BI dashboards. That was for operational teams. And I use delta tables, expectations, and the checkpointing for the pipeline health. For the snowflakes usage, I queried snowflake account underscore usage views to monitor warehouse usage, slow queries, cache misses. Hey, sorry about that.
No worries. No worries.
Sorry. Yeah. And finally, also we had the Power BI monitoring also for the dashboards.
Awesome, man. Awesome, Nate. Hey, way to knock that out and also kill two birds, one stone right there. Was that the dog?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the dog. He saw some other dogs, and that probably causing this.
Happens with mine all the time. Luckily, she's asleep right now, but awesome, man. Well, I think those answers were great. And once again, appreciate you for taking the time to, complete this and answer those for us. When we'll get these all submitted to Compass Group here this afternoon. And besides that, have a great rest of your afternoon, man, and should have feedback here shortly.
All right. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
See you, Nate.